Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. My name again is Jeffrey Davis. All I do is work and speak with entrepreneurs. I do it on the radio show, over 7,000 guests, and I do it in my management consulting firm, Mage, where we've worked with over 700 leaders of organizations, helping them achieve and evolve their businesses to a better place. And our next guest, a first timer, so he gets on my list, is Josh Obeiter, Executive Director and owner of Seniors Helping Seniors. Welcome, Josh.
Thanks so much, Jeffrey, for having me today.
It's my pleasure. Josh, an ever-growing population, seniors, and you're helping them. So tell us about your organization.
Yeah, so Seniors Helping Seniors, we are a non-medical home care agency that really focuses on supporting seniors in the social, emotional aspects of their life. So as we age, our needs become diverse. Some of us need assistance with physical needs, but a lot of older adults, as they age, as they lose friends, as they lose spouses, as adult children have other conflicting and competing priorities, they become isolated. And what Seniors Helping Seniors aims to do is to pair capable older adults, typically who are retired or semi-retired, and have them support older adults who are in need of assistance. And as you know, we have a ever-growing aging population in the United States, and so our model really serves both audiences. It serves our employees who get to benefit from part-time meaningful work, and it benefits our clients that they get a caregiver companion that they can more easily connect and relate to, and often that allows them to be a bit more accepting of the help.
And you're able to control this staff environment so that the quality is consistent, correct?
Yes. So, I mean, we have a vetting process. We have a two-part interview process, training, background checks. So we do our best to vet our caregivers well, and then we have oversight for them throughout their relationship with their client.
I remember back, my mother used to control her own healthcare situation at home, and it was not necessarily the most reassuring situation for her children, the way she was controlling it, especially as she got older. So I could see the security, the predictability in what you're doing. How did you get into this field? What's your background?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So I have a marketing background, and I have always had a really deep connection in working with and spending time with older adults. It started with volunteering at nursing homes when I was in middle school, and I've carried that with me throughout my life. Just really connected with seniors, loved hearing their stories, but also realized that a lot of times what people need, especially when I was visiting them in facility type settings, I realized that what people need really is they need someone to tell their story to. And a lot of care that is typically being delivered is being delivered by people who don't have the time or the desire to really hear their stories. Care is often delivered very transactionally. So for someone that is receptive to hearing their story, it just makes the relationship so much easier. So what I heard about Seniors Helping Seniors, because we are part of a franchise model, I was really excited by it because it fit kind of what I felt was the missing piece in the senior care landscape.
So I think that's interesting that you went to a franchise model versus starting and building from scratch from yourself. What did you like about your franchise?
Yeah, so I was a first-time entrepreneur, so I had never owned or run a business prior. So for me, what was exciting was that there was some infrastructure already there, and that there was a model that I could follow, so that when I was starting from the beginning, it wasn't completely from scratch, and that it allowed me to have some guidance and support in the beginning, and then from there I've been able to build it on my own. Looking back, I think hindsight is 2020. Maybe I wouldn't have needed them, But certainly, I'm glad that I'm part of the franchise network, and the benefit that I get now is having colleagues that I can speak to who are doing similar work in different locations throughout the United States.
I like the peer support model that comes with franchises. And how many people are in the network that you have, that are available to you? And I assume in a franchise model, there are some that you get, you build a bond with more than others.
Sure, yeah. Tend to build a bond with people who kind of are like-minded and who have similar values in terms of how they run their organization, and also people who are running businesses in similar demographic areas to mine. So there are around 100 offices throughout the United States, and I would say have good working relationship with around 10 or so offices throughout the U.S. Couple other offices here in New England who understand kind of our population well.
So you're in a very competitive field, but it's also a booming field. Do you feel like you at Seniors Helping Seniors that you have a competitive advantage?
I do. I do think we are in a saturated market, a competitive market when it comes to non-medical home care, but our product is different in that we do not traditionally employ home health aides and certified nursing assistants. And really, our two kind of real unique differentiators are that we employ older adults exclusively. So our employee average age is around 68 years old. So our employees range in age from their 50s to 80s. So our age demographic sets us apart, but also because we employ older adults who aren't looking for full-time work, we can accommodate a lot of shorter shifts. And a lot of times what families are looking for are these 2 or 3 hour visits a few times a week for respite care and check-ins. So I think we're serving a part of the pie that is not necessarily addressed by other organizations that have a similar mission to ours.
Well, and speaking as someone entering your employment target list in age, I would think that your clients may feel a little more emotionally reassured with someone who's closer to their own peer group versus, no offense, a millennial.
Right. It's very true. It's a lot of the clients that we are supporting and serving don't necessarily think they need help. And that is something that we hear time and time again in this industry is people think they're fine when they're not. And the population that we serve most often are those recently diagnosed with a form of dementia. And with dementia, you often lack insight into your own deficits. So you may think you're fine, but family members, whether it be a spouse, adult child, niece, nephew, they're recognizing that you're unable to perform daily tasks as well as you once were able to, and that structure in your day that is often provided by you as a competent adult is often dwindling and declining pretty quickly. So having someone who doesn't feel like a paid caregiver, who looks more like a neighbor or a friend, it helps protect people's dignity a little bit further as they age.
Well, that's nice. So we've been speaking with Josh Obeiter, Executive Director, owner of Seniors Helping Seniors. I don't know why I always have trouble with the 3 words. Josh, if someone's looking for you, more information about the organization, how would they find you?
Sure. So they can find us online at www.shsboston.com.
Great. Remind everybody, this is Seniors Helping Seniors. Josh Obeiter. My name is Jeffrey Davis, and this is and was Radio Entrepreneurs.